Yes. Oh, bring us down just a little bit, Mr. Curtis. Bring us down so you can see these fabulous women's in here. All right, all right, all right. So we want to thank you for tuning in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational music and gospel station. So we definitely always want you to make sure that you love on us, tap in and say, hey, how y'all doing? But today you are on the Eyes of the Conscious Soul with your Sistah B Mellow. I am sitting in for Mr. George Pearson. However, we co-host together. However, we want to share with you what happens every Saturday. So from every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., you have the Cafe Le Blue Lounge, where there are 15 to 45-minute segments called The Corner. Each corner has a blueprint that is unique of its own. So we ask you to vibe out with us to fireside chats and be inspired by affirmations and inspirational messages. The first part of the corner is Cafe Le Blue Lounge, which is the artist talk. And my co host is Mr. Rose Resenity. And what we do, we showcase musicians, poets, singers, dancers, film producers, authors, comedians, gospel and R&B rappers from around the Bay Area to across the globe. They share their creative process and their lived experience. Another part of the corner could be Why I Dream. We highlight and honor the inventions and creative work of the today's brilliant mind, along with the geniuses from our past. We are preserving African American history and culture in order to keep our legacy alive. The other part of the corner could be She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. This is where you will hear from individuals sharing their personal testimonies to what the Lord has done and is doing in their lives. We are inspiring, having and encouraging inspiring messages. Also, we are highlighting Golden Lights affirmations to impact healing medicine and the soil of the brilliant mind today. On the every second Saturday of the month, which is today, we have the medicine hour with my host, Mr. George Pearson, physician assistant. This is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us. Topics we cover: health issues and concerns, helping eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of our temple, mind, and spirit is essential to mental wellness. Healthy eating, of course, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. That's every second Saturday of the month. Every third Saturday of the month, we have Education is the Best Medicine, hosted by the founder and producer, Mr. George Pearson. Education is the Best Medicine is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization which is community based, health educational, advocacy based, and resource based organization that uses public media, resources, radio, newspapers, and church based community health fairs to provide health information and education. Every fourth Saturday of the month, we have the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show with my co host. We have the Doc, we have the Prince of Hearts, and the Voice. We have real live conversation, fireside chats with organizations, community leaders, business owners, from around the Bay Area and across the globe. And then we have a new show that comes up, and that is The Voices That Care. And we talk about reentry and mental wellness. So that was a mouthful, but we have to pay the bills and we have to talk about what we do every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So today on the Medicine Hour show, I have my sister, and I'm so grateful and thankful for the Lord bringing her into my life. And we'll tell you a little bit as we go on how we met and how God can align different things together when you have a purpose and the things that He wants you to do in your actual life. So I'll just go on and start with that. But I want to introduce my sister. I'm gonna let her say her name and who she, where she comes from, and what she does, and then we'll get into how we started. And welcome. Welcome to the Medicine Hour.
Well, thank you, Miss Barbara. First of all, before introducing myself, I just want to acknowledge God and,
Yes.
and the way in which He works.
Mm.
You have presented me with a blessing.
Oh.
And I'm very grateful, and I thank God and I thank you for extending that to me, to our community.
Yes.
My name is Zhonnet Harper. Everyone can call me Z.
Z.
I'm an Oakland native, born and raised from East Oakland when East Oakland was
All
East
right.
Oakland.
Hey,
I'm talking
hey.
about going all the way back to the Castaliers.
Hey.
You know, when we used to have plays at
yes.
the auditorium at Castlemont, Phil Reader, Lamar Ferguson. Oakland was Oakland.
Oakland was Oakland.
And,
All right now.
I've been here. I'm 60 years old, and my
59. Just turned 59. So
all right, happy birthday,
look, girl. You look good, girl.
Honey, we look good.
Yay, we look.
So I say that to say that I share not only a community history, but I also share community pain.
Oh, let's talk now.
And
that's real talk.
And looking at where we are now.
Yes,
I am a community-based breast cancer navigator in what they refer to as a social safety net integrated hospital. Basically, that means that's where a lot of us who unfortunately have not always benefited from opportunities that have been extended throughout the community go for care.
Yes.
Because our income and such. And I've been doing that work for about 12 years. It'll be 12 years in October that I've been working with cancer.
Wow. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thank
God.
you for walking in your purpose.
And aside from that, I am a member of the Alameda County Public Health Commission. And that's a blessing. We have excellent leadership in our director, Kimmy Watkins-Tart, and Deputy Director, George Ayala. And we're an advisory board. So we really try to work with community in bringing forth what is happening as an emergent health issue or just the concerns and priorities of community. And so that's pretty much why.
Wow. And so how we met at the, no, not the Juneteenth, at the, it's in February.
Black Joy
Parade. So I was walking down and speaking with the vendors and all that kind of good stuff. And this sister, her spirit attracted me. And so, I'm spirit led on, a whole lot of stuff. So, and you know how we do. And I walked by and I looked at you and the love and compassion and the concern that you had about sitting there with the booth and the information that you were sharing, it exuded from you. So I said, God said, you need to speak with her. Oh, excuse me. So that's how I was drawn to you. So God said, you go over there and you speak to her. And then that's how we formed a relationship. And it was a beautiful thing because we need spaces for us. And we should be unapologetic about honoring our health, our being, our purpose, us as Black folks, so that the Black Joy Parade, along with what we do as a Juneteenth, and you guys end up being a vendor with us for it being on our team too. So, what I love about how I interact with people and with you, it wasn't, how some people, not you, I'm just saying some organizations have, oh no, those are my people. No. We're in this together. So how do we, how do I bring more people to your event? How do you bring more people to my event? But, and just horning in and getting back to me being drawn to you. And those are the type of spaces that when you can go into, your heart and your spirit will tell you who to converse with, whoever to talk with. So when you, with open arms, we hug like we've been knowing each other and talking to each other like we've been knowing each other for like over 20 years, or more than that. So that's the beauty about what I love about community. And I love that you say you do work for our community and you bring the resources and the information that we need, to our community. And today, topic is your health matters. And having Mr. Pearson, I want to thank him for he's been doing my shows for me, some other shows. I've been traveling. Look, I thank God because that's my mental wealth and my mental health. Right. So we got to get it right. We got to do that. And I would say to folks, take time out because the work that we do in our community, it can be taxing. you know, but you got to take care of yourself 1st. You
Mhm.
can't take care of others if you're not healthy and well.
Mhm.
So, with that, first, I want you to say hello to your family, because if it was not for family, and that was a
Mhm.
family event, creative event to me, space that we went in, I'm going to always make sure we honor our
Mhm.
family. So,
Well, first, hello, hi, Mama,
hey, mommy.
and all my beautiful sisters, nieces, and nephews, and my extended family. We are a young Thomas family. We are out in New Orleans, and I'm grateful to every member of my family because my family is where the foundation of God began and continues. And they hold me up. We hold each other up.
That's
And
right.
I'm very blessed. So thank you, family. I love you.
Ooh, she loves you and we love her too. So we want to thank you for sharing her with us. So when we say, can you guide me through what health matters? What should we be doing for prevention? What do I know you serve with cancer, but what, as women, what should we be preparing for, and what should we be doing? What would you say the first thing we should do?
That's really a excellent question,
Mm.
but the response probably may not be what most people expect. Um, Prevention and care a lot of times is fiscal because they don't invest
Come on now.
in our lives
Come on now.
as much. So there's the clinical, there is the personal, but the fiscal really is the framework through which a lot of us are treated or mistreated more aptly. Um, you can't have successful preventive care and we don't have access to foods and vegetables that are affordable. Don't tell me organic vegetables are the most healthy, but they're the most expensive. So I've come to a point where I can't really separate the fiscal burdens from the clinical or physical measures that we need to take. We have, a lot of issues in which is things are substandard. You go to some places, the vegetables look like they half dead, and all,
and bring them back alive.
Bring them back alive, and sprinkle some water over some lettuce that's already brown.
Ooh, Lord.
Okay, I'm not trying to be rude, but
no,
let's
keep it. We're being real on the show, and thank you.
So I would say that our preventive approach has to be a multi approach. We have to get multi-pronged with it. We have to do our best to eat as well as we can afford, but then we also have to try to engage more with our local legislators or our local shop owners, a lot of whom need support, to find out how can we bring what we need in order to prevent what we're trying to prevent.
Yes.
Because it's really a lot of it, our health is an outcome, but the origin of poor health, it don't start with us. Despite what people try to tell you, a lot of it is built environment. You got people that live in substandard housing, but we don't have no enforcement mechanism behind the slumlord. Okay, that got you breathing black mold.
Oh,
or it get deep. I don't want to go off into
a
rant.
Right. But you're sharing real information.
It's real.
And this is what we're trying to give out to our audience is that time out for all the other stuff. No, we're gonna keep this real, and we're gonna see how do we move forward.
Yeah.
And what do people need to be in the folks that's in these roles and spaces? You're supposed to be here in these spaces to help the community. So where we want you to step up.
So I would say, and I'll send this to you after the show. There are some resources that we may be able to get, like healthy cookbooks. A lot of times you can get those type of things through our public health agencies, or maybe your provider's office. To ask and see if they have anything that will help us know how to eat healthy. Like there's a healthy soul food cookbook that I'll try to get to you, and so that we can still eat and enjoy our foods. Try to find areas in which we can exercise more. And again, a lot of it goes back to our built environment. For those of us, and I'm from East Oakland, I still am in East Oakland. But would I walk my neighborhood all the time? Not necessarily. I don't want to walk by trash every day. Let's just be real. Let's be real. Because that reminds me of the unhealthy space that we're in. So now what would be the preventative measure? Is that on me or is that on the city?
Woo, on the city.
Okay, see, so a lot of it is there is personal responsibility,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there is also intersectionality, meaning that we have so much that we have to navigate in order to try to engage fully in preventative measures
Right.
that you exhausted just trying to figure it out.
Girl.
You know, how am I afford fresh vegetables and I got this much money? How am I walking? We got all this going on in the neighborhood.
Right.
How am I gonna? So engaging in preventative care, to some extent, it can almost stress you out.
That's a good analogy. That's wow. And so you heard it here, is that we think that folks just what because a lot of people say, well, they just should do this, and then they'll be all right. You just to follow this. But what all of what I'm exhausted over here just listening to everything you just said. But the reality is, it's true. And to think about the neighborhoods and what they have to deal with every day, that is your mental health. So another part of that is the mental health piece, because that has to do something to you.
It does.
You know.
And we have to recognize trauma.
Come on now, sis.
And
I'm sorry, but look, people, I'm sorry. You're gonna hear us say sis, you're gonna hear me say her name, you're gonna hear me say sis C, but this is how we do, and we're going to, like I said earlier, be unapologetic how we're speaking to each other. And that's our culture. There's nothing disrespectful about it. I'm not going to disrespect you, and you're not going to disrespect me. But we have a level line of I see you, you see me. That's the love that we convey. And that's what happened at the Black Joy Parade, is that I see you, you see me.
Exactly.
So, in Butu. So it's respecting that piece of us. But shout out and left on what I was supposed to say. But not really, because it's about the level of respect. But back to how do we the mental wellness, how do we keep ourselves?
It's the thing is, the reason why I'm addressing this so early on is because there's unfortunately, and it's not, I won't even say it's intentional. There's a culture, especially when you get into hospital systems, where we blame the patient.
Come on now, come on.
Everything is on the patient, and that's not necessarily so. Fortunately, healthcare is evolving to an extent where we're starting to really recognize, and beyond recognize, start to try to address, and more importantly, focus on how to eradicate what they call social determinants of health. What I call it is spiritual determinants of hell.
Woo!
Because at the end of the day, spiritual determinants of hell. Because at the end of the day, and I'm so grateful to you, Ms. Barbara, because I can speak as Zhonnet and I can speak to my faith. And I can't always do that in other spaces. At the end of the day, for me, it's like you watching the devil try to corrupt or delay God's promise of healing.
Can you repeat that, please? Delay God's
promise of
healing.
And all these things that when you see it through that spiritual lens.
And look, that's where I was going next.
It gets different. You're looking like, what? Well, okay. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to looking at it through a clinical lens. Not to say that that's not valuable, but that ain't the priority, depending on how you sit in your spirit.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And he distracts us with all this mess, got us looking at lettuce and everything, and we should be looking like, wait a minute, who's the one coming up with all this policy that got us looking like this?
Oh, that's good. Yes. Go ahead.
Right? And so this is the reason why organizations such as yourself are so vital, because not only do you carry the word, you carry the spirit, you carry the purpose.
Oh, you about to make me cry over here.
And that, to me, is the ultimate healing. Look, I'm not trying to be, disrespectful or anything of that nature. But for me, I believe our people to be a godly people for the most part. When we look at, no matter where we come from historically, whether we look at it ancestrally, we always came from spirit.
That's right.
And the moment our eyes got refocused, okay, they got us looking more like at policy than at word. a whole bunch of stuff started going to the left.
Ooh.
Okay. So I take it to the max. If you're gonna bring in faith-based communities, okay, we bringing in the power that comes with the faith. There's an authority that comes
You
with
better
faith.
watch yourself.
Right? There's an authority
Yes,
that comes
it
with
does.
faith.
Yes.
God gave you that authority.
Mm.
That's why your work is purposeful and is plentiful.
Ooh.
That's how I sit here.
That's
Okay?
right.
Because you, right?
Yes.
Doing God's work.
Oh, watch it.
Doing God's will. And to me, this is how we bring back our communities to where they should be. Because I truly believe we are a godly and a royal people. And our health, our spiritual health, which people don't talk about, spiritual health.
Yeah. It's a difference.
It is a total
People
difference.
think it's a difference.
It is a big difference.
You can't combine, no.
And I'll tell you from my own personal experience, I had my full mental faculty, but my spirit was so broken and damaged, it wasn't even funny. So you can maintain all this up here and be broke down up in your spirit.
Oh my God.
Black folks, we got to recognize we got to deal with our spiritual health.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And then we roll on to the rest to take care of itself.
That's right.
Once you got your spirit straight, God, He going to keep blessing you because He blessing you. He restores wholeness.
That's right. And I'm so glad that you said that because we're not a cookie. We can't be placed in a cookie cutter. Our culture respect the way we heal. Respect the way. That's what I love about Nami Contra Costa. The 40 Voices came out of Miss Gigi Crawford, and I'm quite sure you know who she is. So that's my boss. But what she is getting together and creating is the African American holistic wellness hub, which we need them in every city all around the world. Yes. Because the way we heal in our culture is totally different from somebody else's, but they try to make you think that, oh no, that's not the way it's supposed to be. But no, you don't know what I need. And when I am going to see a physician or when I am going to interact, I'll give an example, and I'm going to say it like this. Respect on all ends and every culture. When you go into Chinatown, what do you see there? You see Chinese people in their vending spaces, churches, wellness centers, and the whole nine. Now, what makes you think that our people don't need the same as other cultures and what they have? Because when a child or anybody walk in that space, first of all, they're recognized as they are somebody. And you feel some type of way when you go in there amongst your people. You're not being disrespectful, but carrying on your legacy and your culture is important. And I don't understand why people think that we don't need a black town. Why? What's wrong with us having a black town like they got a Chinatown, a Japanese town in San Francisco? But in honor and respect for the legacy of the people. So why do we not need spaces for us too, and for our children to get the proper health care? And that's the love care and the grandma care and all of that just as well. And when they go into their spaces in China, they got the Chinese doctors, they got all the in the Chinese restaurant. No disrespect, because I love how they get down. You don't see no other nationality working in that space. Do we respect it? Yes, we do. Do we sit there? Yes, we do. Do we accept their? Do we buy the food? Yes, we do. So what I'm trying to say to our community and around the world, we need our stuff too, and our children. I'm speaking from the children and the ancestors, and our seniors. We need spaces that we can worship and call our own and have that. Because, and I'll give an example. I was in Chinatown, and it was a mother and a son. They went bought from the vendor, and the way the joy of the young man, how I can see his spirit, and how his spirit was lifted, and how he felt. He had his whole legacy and culture behind him, but he was able to go into a space that he's seen everything about him. And that is a part of our mental thing that we're saying we need too. So to make a long story short, that's what I was saying with what we're doing and what she's trying to do in Contra Costa County is create a mental African American Holistic Wellness Hub, which they have one that they started in Berkeley, I believe, with Miss Barbara White and Gigi and some other folks. So, but go ahead. What do you think about that? Why do people think it's okay for us not to have that?
The thing is, that goes back to the premise of this show. Our health matters. Black folks are devalued. We gotta address it from there. We are devalued across the board. Every time somebody want to do something in support of us, it's in response to our poverty and never our purpose. And I'm like, no,
say that in two P's, but the wrong P.
Okay.
Say that when you said to the poverty versus
they
purpose.
always want to respond to our poverty, but never our purpose. I don't need you to support my poverty.
Come on now.
I need you to support my purpose, our brilliance, because that's what you took from us. Half of these programs, don't get it twisted. I tell people, do you know that's based on the Black Panther 10-point plan?
Come on.
All of this stuff about community health and all of this and that. No, that started with a 10-point plan. It did not start with a bullet point from your plan.
Come
on.
Be
real clear
Let's be
about
real
that.
Clear. Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And it was misappropriated. And that same type of approach is what you see community-based organizations that are not Black. They have implemented different elements of the 10-point plan. Okay?
Keep it real.
We left out. Still, we're trying to get back to the plan that started with us.
There we go. And we created it.
Okay,
but then that's in all spaces what they try to do with us. Go ahead, sis.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
And the thing is, the valuation has to come from us. Okay? If that's your lane you want to devalue, then I'm gonna keep my value up close in your face at all times. We cannot let the defining of who we are not be what God made us to be. This is what I mean about the distraction.
Yes.
And it's hard because, I definitely can rise in my flesh.
Yeah.
And
we all can.
It'd be a challenge. A lot of people, if they saw me, they'd be like, she believes in God.
But you know what? Don't use that excuse because he railed up too.
Oh, right.
At points. So there's time and space for you to do that. But people just they want to, and that's the bad thing that I don't like either. It's like, you're not being a Christian, or you're not. Wait a minute. Hold on. Don't use that against me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But what I'm trying to say is that I believe, and this is just my personal belief, that
all of this is our personal belief, and we're sharing information and resources.
Our health, again, it lies in our spirit man. And if everything will flow from there, we shouldn't have to seek inclusion when we already empowered. We are empowered by God.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of hearing that about inclusion. Including what? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like our battles have they're fake. They're distractions. They're distractions. I don't need you to include me. I'm already empowered. Matter of fact, I'm not only empowered, I got authority. So we gonna roll like that. And I feel like if we have more organizations, faith-based organizations, and leaders such as yourself that come with that authority, okay? Instead of saying, "Now God got this," we fixing to roll like that. A lot of it would change because there's a lot of hopelessness. Hopelessness really plays a part in our health, our mental health, our spiritual health.
Say that.
Hopelessness. You can't have people talking about God, not to be rude.
No,
and then everybody that believe in God look beat up and can't win nothing. Ain't nobody trying. What?
God don't. That's not even how He rolled anyway.
Right.
It's not. He said, "I rise you up," and then you have the cattle on 1,000 hills. So it's not. But people got that twisted.
Yeah, they do.
As though if you are if you believe in the Lord, that you're supposed to be and that you are following folk. No, I'm a leader. He said, I got the victory in everything that I do.
Exactly.
So I'm not the tail, I'm the head.
Exactly.
So they taking it out of context of what he meant.
And this might get me in trouble, but there are some.
We always get in trouble.
There are some where the faith is it's been corrupted by politics.
Come on, let's keep this real.
And
And that you can't do
you
what
can't.
you need to do because you owe somebody.
exactly.
You in their pockets and you in their back pockets, front pockets, and all that kind of
And
pockets.
all of that, it plays in on our health. And the reason why I say that is because they should be responding and working in collaboration.
Come on.
And not just always setting the standard and the boundary. Don't tell me that you support a faith-based organization and all you do is you want to hold events on a parking lot and then after that you're gone. You held an event. You didn't establish a partnership. Let's be real clear about that.
That's
okay.
We talking. This is fireside chat. This is real conversation, and you're absolutely right.
Because
time out for that anymore.
Right, because that partnership should be ongoing, and that partnership it contains investment. It contains all the things that's necessary to uplift the whole of the community organization, of the community, and of our individuals. And I just feel like we, despite the stereotypes, Black people are probably the most welcoming people on this planet.
Yes,
we open our arms to everybody.
That's right, everybody.
I have to tell you off, but
everybody.
We open our arms to
everybody.
And
that's right.
And a lot of times I feel like there's I don't want to say a politeness because there's nothing wrong with being polite.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think we're a little too deferential, and out of not wanting to be stereotyped as being Black and angry,
right,
or revolutionary, militant, all of that stuff that we are associated with when we stand up for ourselves.
Right.
And
it's like it's a problem if we do.
And so I think that we have to find a way in which we can finesse that, because God is love. We don't have to come angry. We just have to come intentional and remain focused and remain dedicated, because then your purpose will continue to grow. I have to listen to the word at work sometimes because I can just feel it coming on.
Yes.
So I put the word on. And I was listening to a pastor, and he said, increased faith produces conviction, not opinion. And it just been sticking with me like the whole time.
Conviction, not opinion.
And I said,
let's go,
Lord. And that's what we have. We have the conviction.
Yes.
And that will produce the outcomes that we looking to increase better health. The greed. People talk about healthcare like, we can't afford anything. But the truth of the matter is, we can afford it if you wasn't greedy. It shouldn't cost.
That's right.
$1,000, for 2 aspirins and a glass of water.
Or a shot.
I'm like, okay, so again, is it how is that healthcare? That what are giving me?
You said self-care.
Yeah,
only for them. Greed.
It's greed. I have had an occasion where I actually had a patient bring their own aspirins with them to the hospital because they didn't want to be charged.
Oh my God. See, now that's real.
That's
real.
But,
that's real.
And we have to look at greed.
Yes.
Greed as a barrier to care, because a lot of these healthcare organizations, and it's all of them to a large extent, they're a business now. They're not
for the people.
They're not.
It's not to get you well. It's to keep you not well.
And it's it's an ugly fact, but sick people make money for the hospital.
Say it. They
to some extent.
You're right. You're right.
How come we don't have more preventative programs than we have? It should be prevention. If you're in a community that has a high rate of diabetes or any chronic illness or anything like that, that healthcare should be front and center. We should have as many healthcare, and I mean real healthcare. I'm not talking about some fake dialysis center that they didn't put up that's a for-profit. I'm not talking about that.
That's right.
I'm talking about real traditional healthcare. That should be so available and so accessible. We should have healthcare workers going door to door to make sure people are okay.
Yes.
We should really be reimagining what healthcare is and to whom. Because healthcare for one community may not be healthcare for another.
Right.
And just really try to figure it out. And it's a big job. And it's not to say that it's bad people working in healthcare, because it's a lot of people just aren't empowered to make the change that they would like to.
Right.
And this is why community has to try to be more engaged, because
good.
When they won't respond to, say, the the supervisor or director that's trying
That's
to
good.
affect the change. They may
The
respond
community.
to the community that is raising
That's
hell
right.
talking about but I'll see you on the election day.
Mm-hmm. Because it is power in the
It
vote.
is power.
It's power in the vote, and to get our young folks to understand they what they trying to take our rights away,
Mm-hmm.
trying to take our rights to vote away. And if they take your rights to vote away, which it is up for, what is it? It was, how many years did they say? It's up for, like, it's expiring.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna expire.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and who knew that? It's like, what? And now you got to vote it back in.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? But once again, boy, this topic is hot, and we are so excited about being here on Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational music and gospel station. So always, please tune into the Eyes of the Conscious Soul. And myself is Sistah B Mellow. And then we have special guest that comes in, George Pearson. But on the first Saturday of the month, we have the Cafe Le Blue Lounge, which is the artist talk, why I believe, and she who believes takes off the mask. And then every second Saturday, which is today, is the medicine hour. And the topics we cover are health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits. Of course, we want to make sure we get our physical vibes right. Education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of our temple, mind, and spirit is essential to having mental wellness, healthy eating habits, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. And every third Saturday of the month from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. is that education is the best medicine, which is the founder and host, Mr.George Pearson. And then we have every fourth Saturday is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show with my co-host, The Voice, Prince of Hearts, and the Doc. And then the new show is Voices That Care, and that's we share information around reentry and mental wellness. But I do want to say that Nami Contra Costa, there is times that we are every day as African Americans. We have a African American uplift program, which utilize lived experience, African American centered approach, and community defined strategies. Contra Costa County, first African American centered non-clinical support program. If you are an African American and in need of mental support and wellness, you can drop by the actual space, or you can visit, of course, or you can call, or you can also go to the website, and it's namicontracosta.org, namicontracosta.org. We have different support groups, faith-based support groups that will help you and mentor you and inspire you. We have a veteran support group. We have a living with a purpose support group. And then we have men of wellness and faith support group. And then we have a young women support group and a young men support group. So please, under Cal Hope, utilize our services. Contact us. The warm line for NAMI Contra Costa is 925-465-3864. Again, the warm line that you can call and you can speak with someone is 925-465-3864. We definitely, as I said earlier, want to make sure that we want to give you a couple tips around stress. It says, take a break from the news if it's causing you to feel overwhelmed. Maintain social contact by phone, text, or email with those who support you. Treat your body kindly. Eat healthy food. Avoid excessive alcohol and anything else. And do exercise. So we definitely want to make sure that we let you all know that it's non-clinical. We're here to support our community. And as we were saying, get in contact with the 40 Voices to support the African American Holistic Wellness Hub in Contra Costa County. And that's the 40 Voices. And there are this Wednesday coming up at Genesis Church in Antioch. It's a Know Your Rights. So, and it's a Know Your Rights for the youth. So if you are in the area, if you live in Antioch or wherever, if you know any family member, just want to have somebody that you know that lives out there, have them go this Wednesday coming up. I believe that is the 18th. Check it out, and definitely contact Genesis Church or go by there. Genesis Church in Antioch, and there's going to be a Know Your Rights. But again, you have tuned in to the Eyes of the Conscious Soul. We're here on the Medicine Hour. In lieu of my host, I'm his co-host. But since I'm sitting on the side, but Mr. George Pearson. And again, the topic today is Our Health Matters with my sister, Miss Z. And we were talking about our mental well-being, the spiritual well-being, and what else do you think we need to start thinking about in our community to move us forward? What do we should be doing in our health, or not even health, but in family? What are the things you think we should be focusing on? Because like you said, there's so many things that can distract us, because there's laws we need to create and put in place. There's things that we as a resilient people can think of to help our community. I would say Homies Empowerment, which is one of the organizations that I work with, Dr. Cesar Cruz and his wife Jazzy. So grateful and thankful to him. We started a community school. It's called the Freedom School, and it is a part of under the 10 points of the Black Panther Party. Yeah. So go to Homies Empowerment, and you can pull up every Tuesday. We give out food to the community. So like you were saying, there's no good lettuce and tomatoes and stuff in the stores, but we have a space that the community can go, and it's free. Shop for free. Shop in the store for free.
But you know what I would say is we take it back to what it used to be.
Hey.
And that's, first of all, the first thing you can do is try speaking to your neighbor when you see him. Okay? So hopefully that will help them.
People down the street.
Right. And like, for example, where I live, we're really blessed. We have a neighborhood thread of a chat. We have members that when they tell other members when churches or other organizations are giving away food or other resources. If you're in an area where you may not feel certain all the time, buddy up.
Good.
And walk the neighborhood or look to see what the nearest exercise facility may be. Like there's a church down the street, and they do line dances every Friday, and they have exercise wellness. They have a little wellness program, but the members from the community are starting to go. We build community one person at a time. It doesn't. The reality is everybody can't go to a meeting. Everybody don't have that kind of time. First of all, being able to go to the meetings a lot of times are
my Lord,
and it's a luxury, because that means if I got time to go to a meeting, I'm not working 2 or 3 or 4 jobs.
Say that again.
Okay, so
that's a luxury. And
that's a luxury.
Don't even think of that like that.
So I'm like, okay, so
they always talk about, that we don't go to stuff. Yeah, because we gotta have 5 jobs
exactly
to work to take care of the family. So that's why you don't see them in space.
A porch light and maybe a cable station. Don't play.
Woo.
But
come on now.
So that's why it's really important to start building our communities one neighbor at a time.
Yeah.
Share. Just your resources could be a smile, could be a hug.
Oh my Lord.
Sometimes that lift people up out of that spirit of depression or whatever they may be going through. Because now at this moment they feel like somebody care about them.
Yeah.
Share your resources. We ain't got no problem, with sharing our resources, whether it's food, whether it's a hug, whether it's information. All of that is a resource.
And that's us. Like you said, back to the foundation. This is how we want to, right, because we want to take on somebody else's culture and the way they do it versus our culture that's been helping us since the beginning of time.
But okay. We don't have to have the city give us a space for a community garden.
Come on now.
Share your vegetables that you're growing with your neighbor. That's how we get down. And that's the real community.
And somebody with the backyard, we go back there and plant the stuff and help them.
I remember remember when I was coming up, when we go to the house and say, "Mom, can I go to the store?" She would say, "Yeah, but first I want you to stop by Miss So and So house and see if she need anything while you're going."
See,
All those little things.
oh, you just gave me a chill. That was the answer. That's it. So true.
You know, and we got to pass that on to our kids.
That's legacy.
Exactly.
That's something that needs to be passed on.
And I'm fortunate because we still do that on our block.
Yeah.
And the thing is, where I live, most people have been on that block. We generational. We have had parents, their children, their grandchildren, and now some of their great grandchildren within that same block. You know, and to me,
that's our wealth.
Exactly.
That is our wealth.
And while we may not own our house, we own our heart. So at the end of the day, that's what we got to try to do. And then from there, you start to see the benefits.
That's right.
You start to see the benefits.
That's right.
You know, of being able to go with your neighbor and walk down the street and somebody got a stick, somebody got a golf club, but they're getting ready to walk this neighborhood anyway. You understand what I'm saying?
No, that's right.
And partner up. And it's a big benefit to the mental health. You know, my mom is 80 years old, and she light up on her exercise days. Because her and the neighbor, they getting ready to roll out and go on exercise, come back like, hey. And you know, there's a difference because there are days when you can see that she misses it, and that spirit, that uplift. Yes. And I don't want to just be on a you know, where I'm speaking things that don't have anything that are tangible. Right. But tangible benefits, I would say, are to again seek resources beyond the traditional. I would say visit your public health websites, because all of them, they definitely do have a preventative component. That's what they do. They're more policy driven anyway. So where you can get access to information on nutritional eating, healthy exercise, those are all the things and all the areas in which a lot of public health departments focus, and it doesn't cost you anything to get those resources. If you have a backyard and you want to organize your own thing, because at the end of the day, y'all, I'm gonna tell you like this: Black folks, we got to be self-sufficient. Come on. If you waiting to see what other folks gonna do, then you ain't been paying attention. Because for 400 plus years, they've been telling us and showing us what they will and will not do. Yes. So in order, again, to get back to the valuation of who we are, we have to take those things upon ourselves. And they will probably at that point, see them spring up somewhere else. Oh, but that's the point. You know, we just have got to take control of not only our value, but to get back to where we appreciate who we are as an individual, as a family, as a person. It's not to say we won't have our challenges, and you ain't gonna value everybody. I'm gonna just be real about that. Some people will still get on your nerves. But at the end of the day, you're making the effort. Yeah. You know, and to when you buy vegetables, because you know vegetables are really expensive for the most part. I tell people, try to buy frozen vegetables if you can't afford fresh, because the canned vegetables are packed in sodium. And it's so much high blood pressure that we're eating things that already contain salt, and then we add more salt to it, and that keeps high blood pressure. So it's a lot of educational materials that you can find about ways in which to eat, and then again into investment. If you live in a community and they aren't doing anything that in terms of presenting you with preventative education and support, then you get on that phone and you call and be like, yo, what's up? That's right. You know, because that's a responsibility, and that's their responsibility. Right. And then that's why I said it's a multi-pronged approach. There's expectation, and then there has to be investment. They have to invest. We are worthy of that investment. That's not optional. That's mandatory. It is mandatory. It's our right. You know, that you invest in us. And I just feel like as a people, we have been so abused and so traumatized, and to a certain extent, just to maintain our sanity, we disinvest hope. Because we've been disappointed so often, and that disinvestment in our hope, oftentimes it just leaves us kind of like, it's not that you don't want to do, but what do you do? Right. And we just have to keep looking to God and each other, and we rebuild, you know, one at a time, because that's how God did it.
That's right.
He didn't come in with no CBO. It
That's
was
right.
one person at a time. You understand what I'm saying?
Community
Okay.
coming together.
Okay. He
Commune.
came in. Bam.
Communion. Communion.
Okay? That's what I'm talking about.
Commune. Like you just said, speak. Wow. We need to definitely speak, and to the youth. Speak to these kids. We know it's a lot of, not only our kids are controlled, kids are controlled, period. So we ain't gonna blame who keep no. But you also know what your children is doing too. So because you know them. And as the spirit, the spirit you come up in there, you already know when somebody's doing something wrong and ain't got no business with it. Or if you wait a minute, who house you coming in at? What time? What? No, we ain't doing all that. Right. So there are certain things that us as a people can do. If you, and I love what you said, get the research, go on the websites. We got these phones. There's information right at our fingertips. Now we have to not just be on the social media, but be on there finding information and resources that's going to help us get to where we need to be as a people. So you can use that as a tool, but don't let it just like, because you can be on that thing strolling for hours. And then you say, I ain't got time to do this. I ain't got time to study. I ain't got time to do anything. But God said, you've been on that thing for a whole 2 hours. So that's studying time. That's a whole 2 hours for study. Okay. If you want to go to school, enroll in a class, it's free at Laney. So there's things that we can do to empower ourselves that and you don't even, our kids in high school can go to college and they don't even need to have the high school degree to go to college. So, there's things that you can enroll and go. What about a mother and daughter, or father and son, or both, saying, hey, let's spend our time, since we on this phone a lot. How do we then help each other and enroll in the same class and then we can study together? Exactly. But see, that's what, part of why they keep us distracted. Like I would tell my nieces and they would laugh. I said, I don't know what y'all on here. Honey, studying them in Kardashians. When the Kardashians ain't doing nothing but giving you back, they selling you your history. There you go. Don't play. Okay. And the poet, oh my God. I can't think of his name, but he says in one of his poems, they love everything about paradise. They love everything about you but you. Like you said, people were selling you back who you are. And you are walking advertisement for somebody else versus creating your own thing. Get a sewing machine. Get something. And start. And COVID, there was all kinds of businesses got started. Excellent ones too. Etsy blew up. I was so happy to see that many people on Etsy. Come on, honey. But I think outside of the clinical, it's just about bringing value and hope to our people, because that has been taken from us to such a large extent. And the spirit of hopelessness is real. It's very real. It's real. Spirit of condemnation. I was trying to tell somebody what they ain't doing. Keep reminding them. Right. That's trauma. It's just all that trauma. And it's like God is on his way back, and he won't be in the Pope mobile when he comes. So everybody better just, for us that already know, we good, but we got to try to help the ones who don't know. And it's by bringing restoring hope, trying to bring them hope. I think hope is an underrated and unappreciated an undervalued component of our health, because it leads to everything else. If you don't have no hope, you don't care whether you make your doctor appointment. Right. You don't care if you eat right. You don't care. And it's because that depression sits so heavy. And when you can walk down your street and you feel like there are people in there that care about you. You when you go home and if you don't have it, there are people around you that got you. Like all those things lead to our health. That's right. When politicians and all these power brokers and influencers, when they know that if you don't step correct, then you will be corrected. Woo! When there are all those type of things working together, we have, like I tell people, if you look at a framework, come on, and you're not in that framework, it's not a framework, it's a trap.
So that at the end of the day, that means you have to reimagine and present a new framework in which you are centered. You know, meaning that the center of me is all of me. It is not
part
partial
of
to
me.
out.
Right.
You know, that mean a place to live that don't look like hell. That mean a neighborhood where I ain't walking through hell.
Right.
That mean food that don't taste like hell. It mean a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And we you know, they give us a little bit and be like, oh my God,
I've done enough for you.
Okay, well, I mean, there's lettuce.
Right. But all of it is brown. But you won't. But your family won't eat it.
You know,
your family won't. And you know, I do want to, and I thank you for bringing up how we need to engage and bring. Be a part of change in our community, and we can do it ourselves. Is that I do want to say that the Kingmakers in Oakland, California, we want to give shout outs to them for the work that they're doing. The Hidden Geniuses. If you don't know these programs, pull them up. Homies Empowerment, Save the Space. The Sacred Space, Create the Space. Lord have mercy, Create the Space. HHREC. So there are organizations that's out there that's helping our families and our young folks. So we want you to tap into these places. And like I said, for a school, the Freedom School, look, enroll our children into a school that's going to teach them about their history, and they're going to get everything that they need. And that's in the Homies Empowerment. It starts in September. I think it's September the 12th is when we open. But pull up the website, go on there, and definitely get the information because there's tons of research. And then you got the Black Culture Zone, Miss Carol. There are organizations, and then you got the East Side Alliance. So there's programs that we need for you, community, to connect with if you have not already connected with them. But we want to make sure that we give these resources out to you. As I said before, Nami Contra Costa, and then pull up the 40 Voices and support that organization and what they're trying to do with the African American Holistic Wellness Hub in Contra Costa County. So with that all being said, what do you do for your wellness, for self-care? What do you do for self-care?
Okay. Before I do that, it's okay if I give.
Oh yeah, no. You sure you look? This is our show, your show. This is what we do. This is why we created this space.
You're so awesome. I'd like to say, please check out Umoja Health, run by Dr. Kim Rose. And baby, let me tell you,
say that again.
Dr. Kim Rose, Umoja Health is fantastic, and she is an absolute blessing, and she is blessing our community big time.
Right.
And is you know, I don't want to get emotional, but
oh no, get emotional. This is what this show is about.
You know, it's a blessing when you see that the work is being done. It's not promoted to the extent that it should be, and I hope that we all support these organizations as much as we can, because the difference that they make in people's lives, not just health in that very limited space, but in their lives, from workforce development to having a sense of accomplishment, to feeling like they have the ability to dream. Because see, when we don't have the ability to dream, all we subject to is nightmare.
Woo! And
we trying to bring all that back.
That's right.
And Umoja is definitely a ginormous contributor, and Dr. Kim Rose is awesome, as Roots and everyone else. And
right.
So thank you so much for that. And for self-help, health, both of them.
All that, right.
I exercise now. COVID had me kind of toe up. I couldn't really exercise, and it was all hell.
I need to start exercising.
You know, for a little bit, and just trying to get into a creative space, because it's very difficult. You know, when you work around and work with so many people that's suffering and it's trauma, and you have your own life, and you know you're dealing with your own issues. And for a minute, I was in a really bad place. Yeah. And that's why I say God is real, and I speak to the spirit, because you can have it all. You can have a job, you can have a house, you can have it all, but if your spirit is not intact, it don't even matter.
That's right.
So we have to get back to taking care of each other's spirits. because then the rest will follow and it will flow and it will ascend, because that's the natural projection of spirit. Spirit is up.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And so I'm really just trying to focus in on getting back to that creative space and having fun.
Yeah,
because
and that's what people lost. It's like,
girl, I ain't had no dang old fun. When COVID was, I was looking at everybody like, what? Okay, take a test. But God blessed me and brought me back to fun. And that has really
yes.
you know,
And we can be, and that's, and it's crazy. I tell my students, even when I'm teaching a class or whatever, I said Miss Howard can be professional, and then she can have fun. She can let her hair down, and that's a part of the problem with a lot of people, is that you done got so caught up with your position and who you are and these titles, and you don't even know how to come in and be authentic yourself. And you didn't all of that, like, and that's back to the spirit. You know, if you will lose that. You lose yourself in all of this stuff. And you can take an approach as though they need some help. No, we all need some help. And how can we support each other? And as I share with the youth and everybody that's on the show, whomever comes, this is my responsibility. This is my platform, or whatever God's had me create, or he didn't open up to do. It's not mine. It's never been mine. It's always been for the people, or whomever. I'm just the vessel. I'm just a tool. And I'm so grateful and thankful. Like I said to you earlier, who would have thought a thunk, as they would say, I'm 59. I would say over 25 years ago, God would have gave me the know-how or wherewithal to say, oh, we're going to create the eyes of the conscious soul. So this was for now and for then, but for me to see how God has been working with it and the things that he's brought me through and things that he's brought me in the whole nine. This is what life is living. Like you said, fun. This is my fun. This is my legacy. This is what I'm supposed to bring people like you and others, community, our folks and family and friends, to a space where we can talk about what is important for us and how do we stay connected to each other. And as you said, with our spirit, we are here on Believe Radio, but we want our community to start believing again. Bring that hope back. Like you said, our children are going back to school. They're going to have to be encouraged and empowered for them to believe, because if they don't, then the hope is lost. You can't dream. It says a people perish
without vision.
Come without vision and a lack of you perish. So we need those spaces to create, be creative, and to be our authentic self. Go ahead, sis.
And that's what they come for. They come for our vision.
You better speak on it today. You better speak on it.
Can't invest in schools. That's our knowledge. If we allow them to give it to us. That's what I'm saying. Take it back for ourselves.
Take it back for ourselves.
We come from a people that
we got teachers and doctors and lawyers and all this.
And these our babies are smart as a whip.
Yes, they are.
The computer's like.
And I be saying, do you know you typing? Do you know you typing? Your fingers is going that fast and the things you're doing, but you got to make that connection to them.
And again, it's just us seeing our value in each other, valuing our potential, and I just want to try to help to bring us back to looking at our purpose and our brilliance and all the things that are positive. We are so swarmed with everything negative.
Right.
We always, when Black people, they show them we got a disparity, it's a crime, we broke. It's always something. They act like Oprah and Beyonce is the only two people that really got some major success. And we got people that's doing the thing out here.
That's right.
And we just need to start, presenting the success and the promise and the purpose back to the people.
Right. Because we all count. And by you saying and sharing those names we're just trying to say to our community, you are important and you are valuable. And we definitely want to have you back on this show again because, boy, time flies when you're having fun. But I'm going to give you the final word of what would you want the community to what would you say to the community, or what would you want to offer them? You know, we already offer the resources, and what would you, the final words, what would you say?
My final words would be to remember that no matter what you're going through, God loves you. And for those of us that may be going through hell, don't stop. Never stop in hell. Keep going, because we will exit. And just to know that we are created as spiritual beings. Our body is it's only the shell. Our spirits, protect your spirit. Protect your spirit.
Say that
And
again.
the rest will flow. You know, God is returning me to being a happy warrior. For a couple of years, I was just a warrior, but I wasn't a happy warrior. And you know, but I had to go through hell in order to exit into the place where I can be happy.
Right.
And you know, I hope there are those of you. Oh, hallelujah! Don't
take back your peace. No, cry, because you know what? And I thank you for that, because then I know that that's the spirit. That's our ancestors. Me, people that know me, they know I'm about my ancestors.
Okay.
And I'm about the spirit, spirit of the Lord. But that is what it's about, because we have too much. We talking about authentic.
Yep.
Real. That comes from the heart. You get what I'm saying?
It's he said believe, but you gotta trust. And a lot of us, we've been in situations, you know, where the trust is coming to go because of the situation and the severity of it. Yeah. But he's saying return to your spirit, man, because that's where I made you. And he will bring you through. And I hope that, you know, there are those of you who may have gotten something out of this. I just believe God purposed me to speak to the spirit today. Sure. Because it's not, we never are spoken to about our spiritual health.
That's right.
In a way that it does, you know, where it's accessible and it's personal,
and we care.
We care.
That's the spirit. The spirit, and that's the spirit in you. The tears are for caring for people. So you're walking in your purpose, and I want to thank you for what you do. And I want to thank God that he had me drawn to you. You know, because I believe, again, in divine time, divine order. And I got that for Ayanna Van Zam years ago. Yes. But the thing about it is that God says, I have an alignment. I have things in purposeful. I do when you walk out of your door, when you wake up every day, it's intentional. It's for purpose. So we need to find out the purpose of why we woke up this day. Yeah. And our day was to connect, was to say what we said, was to share this information. I believe that wholeheartedly. Yes. Is that, and then our ancestors say to me, girl, you were born for such a time as this. Okay. And I was born the time as when I was born. Yeah. I did my part, you do your part. Everybody got a role. Everybody got a lane. My lane, I ain't got to get over in your lane. I ain't got to come. No, if I get in your lane, I drive with you together. I don't try to come flying over here and cut you off, cut you off, front bump off. And right, no, and that's what we could be, reckless in this world. Oh Lord, is that my phone? That's my phone. But sorry, folks. But however, it's about us being in community together and not being reckless and being okay being in your lane. Yeah. Everybody has a lane to be in. And to me, that's just a sign of you guys on the right track.
Yep. And it just makes me so grateful to you, Miss Barbara. And thank you again for giving me this opportunity, because to me, this is very much about healing, because it's like God is saying, I will heal your brokenness. As a community, as a people, as a family, as an individual. I will heal your brokenness.
Jesus. Well, again, time flies when you're having fun on Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station. We want you to go on our website and send out this information. All of the programs that we have here on the shows, please send it out to your people, your families back east, all over the land. We want you to make sure that you get this information out. every first Saturday of the month, we have the Cafe La Blue Lounge with my co-host, Mr. Brandon Rosidity. And then every second Saturday is the Medicine Hour with Mr. George Pearson, and I am the co-host. But today we want to say, hey, Mr. Pearson, thank you. Hope that you're getting some well-rested, needed stuff there, and he's taking tests too. And then every third Saturday of the month, we have the Education is the Best Medicine, and that is the founder and producer, Mr. George Pearson. Every fourth Saturday, the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show with my co-host, The Voice, The Doc, and the Prince of Hearts. And then the new show is Voices That Matter, and we highlight and support reentry and mental wellness. And then I also want to close and thank my sponsors. I want to thank Elevate Gospel Ministries, Pastor Larry Austin, and then Education is the Best Medicine, BH Brilliant Minds Project Inc., Barbara Howard Consulting, and Nami Contra Costa. And I just want to say thank you again for having my sister on here, and we will have you back. You will be on this show with us. There are several shows that you could be on, but we're grateful and thankful for you being here. You heard it here on Believe Radio, and we want to say have a safe, wonderful weekend. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank God for you. Love on your family.